Hello and welcome to this video. I am Cherno Abdurrahman Chow, CCNA certified and a CCNA trainer. On this video, we'll be looking at Cisco Packet Tracer. But before we get into that, on the screen you have our contact information, so that if you have any questions or anything you would like to discuss pertaining to this video or any other topic on CCNA or on networking, you can reach us on any of these contacts, that is through email abdurrahmanchow@gmail.com, or on this number which you can reach us through on WhatsApp. So back to the video. Like I said, today we'll be looking at Packet Tracer as you have it here opened. But first of all, what is Packet Tracer? So Packet Tracer basically is a network simulation software which is cross-platform, meaning it can be used on different platforms. I have it installed in my Windows operating system, and I also have it installed in my Linux operating system, which I'm using right now. So it allows you to simulate network topologies where you can have different network devices connected, configured, and tested. So it has its advantages, of course. Like, let's say someone who's learning networking and does not have the physical devices can use Packet Tracer to do all configurations that are needed. Of course, the downside at some point will be as you go on, there are some commands that you will need which are not available on Packet Tracer, but those will be just few. Basically it will do most of what you need. So if you get to a point where you have some commands that are needed which you can't find on Packet Tracer, that is where other programs like GNS3 come in very handy. So let's look at the functionality of Packet Tracer. So you will notice that the display that we have might be different. Like mine is blue currently, some of you might have a different one, and the way mine is arranged would also be different from others, but I assure you it's all the same. The functionality is all the same, it has no difference. So let's look at this first, this section here. So on this side here, so we have different kind of devices. So here, if I place this cursor, you notice that it will show me the type of devices that I have down here. Like when I place the cursor on this one, it's telling me I have network devices here. Likewise, when I place it here, it's telling me I have N devices in here, and here I have components, here I have connections, those are the cables, and here I have miscellaneous, that is a mixture of all of these different ones. So miscellaneous can be like, here I have a router and a PC, and here is I have multi-user connection, that is if it is needed. So going to the first one, which is the network devices. So on our network devices, I have routers, switches, hubs, wireless devices, security devices, and one emulation as well. So that is, let's say you want to do some configurations using one emulation that needs to be done on the cloud. So this is where you get it. So all of these are under network devices. So if I need go to N devices, then there I have the PCs. This is where you find the PCs. On the home, you have different kind of devices here as well. So if you notice, if I place the cursor on this, it shows me the name of the device down here. So like it's saying here, this one is an appliance, this one is a battery, this one is a Bluetooth speaker, and so on. So this one is a smart city, industrial, and power grid. But today what we'll be looking at, or the ones that we'll be using, will be network devices, N devices, and connection. So on the network devices here, I'll go on the routers. I need a router here. So for you to select a router, you can either click on the router, just click and hold without leaving the left button of your mouse, then drag the router and then leave it to drop. That is one option that you have. Another option that you have is you can click on the router, just click and leave the mouse, then click anywhere in here, and then it will drop the router there. But then let's say you want to select multiple routers, So if I should come click on this one, then come and click again, click on this one and then click again, this might take time. So in order to save time, what I can do is, when I'm selecting a router, I can hold on the control button and then select this router. After doing that, now I leave the control button and then leave the left button of the mouse. Then all I will need to do is just come here and just click once the left button of the mouse and it will drop the router. If I click again, it keeps dropping the router. So this means I have selected these routers. So this is how you can select multiple devices at once. So if in case you want to delete them, let's say we have all of these devices that I want to delete, I can just highlight all of them, and then on my keyboard I can press the delete button. So it will ask me if I want to delete these selected items. I will say yes. So if you notice, once you delete, then you will have this X button. Once ever you see this X button, what it means is you are now under the delete section. So if you click on any device, it will delete that device. So you need to be careful with this. So just to show you a sample, I will click on this one and you see that one is deleted. Likewise this one. So to go out of this delete mode to the selection mode, what you can do is the fastest way is just press the escape key on your keyboard. Another way of doing those is, if you want to delete, you can select this one, and as you can see, I'm seeing this X. But if I want to select now, so that I can click on the device, maybe go into the device and do my configuration, then I will need to select this one. So that is how I select my router. Now we need a switch that needs to be connected to the router. We need two switches actually, because we'll be having two networks. So I'm selecting this 2960 switch. Again, I will hold on the control button and then select this switch, then press to drop this switch here, press again to drop this other one. Okay, so I have my switch. Now I want to select a PC. So I'll come here on the end devices. I have my PC here. So this will be a desktop, and this is a laptop, this is a server, and it goes on. Their names are written on them. And again, if you place the cursor on any device, the name of the device will be shown down here. So I'll select this PC, but before selecting, I'll hold the control button because I want to make multiple selections. So control button, hold it, press, then click here in order to drop those PCs. Now I have all the devices that I need, that will be needed for this video. So now I need to connect these devices, and to do that, this is where you do it. You come to connections. So under connections, we have different types of devices, cables rather. So if I should click on this one, the devices, so based on what type of device you're connecting, this will determine which kind of cable that you need. Like you might need a console cable, that is so that you can have management access to the device, so that you can configure and make your configurations. You might need a straight through cable, or you might need a crossover cable. You might need different kind of cables here, a fiber cable and so on. So based on the type of cable that you need, based on the device connection, you can select the right one here. Or if you're not sure of the one that you need, or let's say you already know all of these, so you don't want to take the trouble of selecting the cable and then connecting, you can just select this one. So with this one, Packet Tracer will automatically fill the right type of cable for you. So I'll select this one, I'll hold the control button, select, alright, then click on this PC and then on this switch, then click on this PC, switch again, and then on this PC. So from this switch, I'll connect it to the router, from this router to this switch, from this switch to this PC, and then this PC to the switch. So you see here, I didn't have to go through the trouble of selecting the right type of cable. With selecting this first one, it automatically puts in the right type of cable that is needed, that is whether it is straight through or crossover. So as you can see, it is still showing me that I can still continue to connect cables, But now that I'm done, I can either come and click on this one again to deselect it, or just press the escape key, which always works. So I'll press the escape key and now it is deselected. Now let's look at these functionalities. So let's say you want to assign IP addresses, but you also want to have it in a way that you'll put a note that you can see to make it easier for you in order to assign the right IP address. And let's say not needing to go into the device to look at the IP address that is assigned here, you can just have your IP address written next to the device, so this automatically tells you what IP has been assigned to the PC. But it is also possible to go into the device and check which IP has been assigned. So in order to do that, all you need to do is select this one here, which says place note. So now I have selected, I'll press the left button of my mouse, then I'll put my IP here. So I want this network to be 192.168.1.0, and on this side, so I need to select again, press here. So this side will be 192.168.2.0. So this might be new to you. Some of you might not understand what these IP addresses are. If you do not, we'll have other videos where we'll be explaining what IP addresses are, and what they're used for and so on. But basically, just briefly to let you know, IP addresses, they are used to uniquely identify devices at layer 3. So just like we need names to uniquely identify each other, like I need my name Abdurrahman Chow, so that if one calls me, I will know that the person is referring to me. And if I am to send anything to another person, then I will indicate that the source is from Abdurrahman Chow. So do network devices need IP addresses in order to communicate. But IP addresses work at layer 3, and they help to uniquely identify the devices. But we'll look more into IP addresses to look at their classes, the different types of IP addresses, and as well as how to subnet them. So to continue on today, the goal is just to show you basically on how Packet Tracer works, and then I will also assign IP addresses just to show you that I have connectivity. Okay, so I will proceed. So within this 1.0 network, I want to assign this interface 1.1. So sometimes you will see on some configurations you just see 1.1. So if you see 1.1, that means I'm not writing all of this in full, because let's imagine if I should write all of this in full, at some point it becomes too many and it might not be too organized. So this way you can just make it short, and you will be able to know that this 1.1 means it's from network 1 and is giving IP 1 from that network. Okay, so again I'll assign this one 1.2. So this 1.2 basically is like 192.168.1.2. So I'm not just writing it in full here, but of course when assigning to the device, I will need to put in the whole IP address. Okay, so I'll assign this one 190. Okay, I'll just put 1.3 here. So this network 2, here, so anything on this side is part of network 2. So in that case, I will assign this interface 2.1. Then I'll assign this PC 2.2 and this PC 2.3. Now that I have already decided what IP I'm going to assign to which device, now all I need to do is go into the device and assign it that IP. So this PC should have 1.2. So to do that, what I'll need to do is click on this device. After clicking, then I'll need to click on desktop, IP configuration, then enter my IP address, which is 192.168.1.2. so the subnet mask will be filled in automatically based on the IP that you put there. So this shows you that this is a class C address. So the default gateway should be the IP address of the router, and here the IP address of the router on this interface is 1.1. so basically that is the IP that it will be using if it is supposed to send any network, any packet rather, to a different network. So here we'll be having 192.168.1.1. so this DNS server doesn't need to be filled, we can leave that for now. I'll assign this one 1.3. so click on the device, click on desktop, IP configuration, then enter the IP address 168.1.3. so what I can do is I can copy this, and on the default gateway just paste it and change the 3 to 1 as the default gateway. So if you notice on both devices their default gateway is 1.1, because for any packet to travel from this PC or this PC to any of these PCs within this network, it needs to pass through this interface of the router. So let's say we have a room and we have 2 or 3 people within the same room. In order for those people to leave the room to go elsewhere, they must pass through the door. So likewise, for any packet to leave any device, if we had 100 devices with down here, all of them will have the same default gateway IP address, because they're using this interface of the router to reach other devices on other networks. Likewise, these two will also need the same IP address in order to reach other devices on different networks. So I will come to this device here. So this is from the 2.0 network and it's assigned 2.2. its gateway will be 2.1. so I'll click on the device, desktop, IP configuration, then give it a static IP of 192.168.2.2. so I'll copy this and then I'll paste it here, and then I'll change this to 1. I'll do the same for this one. Desktop, IP configuration, I will paste the IP and change this to 2.3, and the default gateway should be 2.1. Now what I need to do is go into the router. Both interfaces are down by default. Okay, so I will need to go assign them IP addresses and then turn them on. So I would first go into Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 and assign it 1.1. so to do that, I will need to click on this router, then click on CLI. So here it will show me a prompt to ask, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? So here I will say no. I will explain this in other videos. Okay, so I will say no, press enter, then press enter again. So I will type enable config T. So again, I will not be explaining these commands. We'll be looking at these in other videos, but for now I just need to assign the IP address so that I can show you that we have connectivity. So for now, you don't need to know what these commands are doing. You just need to enter them and have connectivity, and all of this will be discussed in detail in other videos. So what I will do is, now I'll go to interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0, then I'll assign it an IP address of 192.168.1.1. I'll put a space 255.255.255.0, which is my subnet mask, and then I will enter. Now remember, I said the interface is down, so I will need to turn it up, and to do that I need to say no shutdown, and here it shows me a notification here to tell me that LAN protocol on interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 change state to up. So that means our interface is now up. So some of you, especially those who are new into networking and using Cisco devices, you notice here I had IP, and then here I have IP address. I didn't press enter, so what I did is I just type IP add, and then I click on the tab button. So clicking on the tab button, what it does is a help feature that completes whatever configuration or command that you're typing. Okay, so after doing this, I will need to go to the other interface, which is Gigaway Ethernet 0/1, and assign it this IP. So if you are within an interface, if you want, you can exit and then go to the next interface, or from here I can go straight to the other interface, but I will exit, and this takes me back to the global configuration mode. Then again I will enter Gigabit Ethernet 0/1. So I'm on the other interface. Then I will say IP address 192.168.2.1. then I'll put the subnet mask, which is 255.255.255.0. enter, then no shutdown. So bring the interface up. So now that the interface is up, spanning tree taking its place here. So what I can do is I can either wait or just click on this to fast track it. So you see, once I click on it, this fast tracks it by some either seconds or minutes, and now everything is up and running. So all I need to do now is to test my connectivity, and to do that we use ping. So with this I can go into the device and type my command, or with Packet Tracer, to make it faster for you, you have this envelope sort of here that you can use to test connectivity, basically as your ping. So here you'll have this envelope which is open and this one which is closed, so you will need this one. So this is just sending a ping, but this one is like sending an extended one sort of. So this one is more complex than this one. So the one that you'll be needing is this one, the envelope which is closed and not the open one. So I'll press on this one, then click on this one first, and then on this one. So if I click on this one first, then this one second, that means I'm on this PC and I am pinging this PC. So what I just did now is I am testing connectivity within the same network, and then later we'll go cross network. So after doing that, I need to come down here and click on this arrow, and here it tells me successful. So this means I am able to ping from this device, I'm able to ping this device. So we have connectivity. This means this PC is now able to communicate with this PC. If you have any resources to share or anything that you want to do, these two will be able to communicate. Okay, so now what we'll do again is we will ping from this device to this device. So it said in progress, and then it's saying failed. The reason for this is because the address resolution protocol is taking place. So mostly the first packets that are sent, for the first time would fail because of the app, but later on the rest will work. So it is normal to see this fail the first time. So what you need to do is just send another ping. You can do that by clicking on this, send another one, or on this red button here, just double click. So when you double click, that means it has been sent again. I'll double click again, and then see it says successful. So sometimes the first one will fail and the second will start working. Sometimes even the first, the second, and even the third ping might fail, but you just need to continue trying if you are sure that you did your configurations right. So now I am able to communicate within the same network and cross network. So if I want to do other pings, let's say this becomes many, as I go on I can delete them and then do my ping again. This time I'll use another PC. I'll ping from this device to this device. So in progress because of the app, the address resolution protocol that is taking place. So I will send the ping again. This time instead of double clicking on this red button, I will use this packet again or envelope, send it again, and this time it's saying successful. So this ping is exactly equivalent to this one. It's the same from the same PC to the same PC. So now as you can see, we have successfully looked at some of the features of Packet Tracer, the devices that you can have here, how to select the devices, how to connect them, and quickly how to assign an IP address on the router and the PC, and also test connectivity. Okay, so another feature that I would want to show you is this down here. So you can click on any one of these two, or any one of these here rather. So if I click on this one, this means I'm selecting a line. Clicking on this one means you're selecting a rectangle, an ellipse, and this one is free form, so you can draw it anyhow you want. So for example, I can select a line here and then just draw any line here. So these you can use maybe to further beautify your project. You know, you can also have VLANs configured, so based on which VLAN you can give it a color. You can select this ellipse also and then come here and draw it. You can also select a rectangle, so it's possible to also give it a color. I will show you one sample here. So for example, I can select this, collect a fill color and then give it a color. So maybe I will choose this color and then click on OK. Then I will draw this. So on this side I can choose a different color if I want, maybe this color, and draw it here as well. So you see, this way I am further beautifying my work, make it more pleasing to the eye, you know. Yeah, so these are things that you can also use. Another thing that you would want to know is how to know which version of Packet Tracer that you're using, because sometimes you might do some configurations, then have your file saved. So if that file is sent to another colleague or another individual who also has Packet Tracer installed, if your versions are different, that file might not work on that individual's computer. So to know which version of Packet Tracer you're using, you just click on help, then click on about, and the version that you're using will be shown here. Like mine, I'm using 7.2.1. so after you're done with all your work and everything that needs to be done, then you just click on file. Because it's the first time that I'm saving it, so clicking on save will do the same thing as save as. So I can click on any of these two. So I'll say save as and then I'll give it a name. So I'll call it first, and then save it. Yeah, so that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, like I said in the beginning of the video, feel free to send us an email or send us a message on WhatsApp, and we will do our best to assist at any time. Please share this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. Thank you very much.